توب ستوريز من وطن الكرامة.
Hello, welcome to Watan Al Karama News Channel. It is 9 p.m. our time for top stories, and we start with latest developments in Libya. The new UN envoy to Libya, the German Martin Kobler, arrived to the city of Tobruk to hold a meeting with the parliament members to restore confidence in the United Nations efforts. The new UN envoy was received by second deputy of the parliament speaker Ahmed Arhouma and foreign minister Mohammed Al-Dairi, as well as a number of parliament members. Reporter of Watan Al Karama News Channel in Tobruk, Salah Al-Tarhouni, noted that a meeting will be held between the UN envoy and the presidency of the parliament, and it will be followed by a press conference in the presence of a number of local and international media channels. Media and political analyst Isa Abdelgayoum said that Kobler's visit to Tobruk come to determine the trend of parliament regarding the imminent foreign intervention in Libya after the failure of political process, according to him. Abdelgayoum noted that the presence of Kobler himself in Libya indicates that the international community lost the hope of forming a national unity government in Libya, and this threatens an imminent military western intervention in Libya. Concerning the pursuit of the candidate for the prime minister and the rescue government Faiz Al-Sarraj to form an exile government in Tunisia, Abdelgayoum said that Al-Sarraj's proposal to implement the step is a politically vain attempt because this government will face severe internal opposition, especially in the city of Benghazi. EU Foreign Policy Chief Federica Mogherini expressed her willingness to work closely with the new UN envoy to Libya, Martin Kobler, to find a solution to the Libyan crisis based on the previous rounds of dialogue. Mogherini highlighted Kobler's experiences, expressing her confidence that the Libyan people and the international community will benefit from his experience, his ability and his professional efficiency, and thus they would support his work. Moreover, Mogherini called on all Libyan parties to work constructively with the United Nations to restore peace and stability. The U.S. Congress authorized the nomination of Mr. Peter Wood for taking over the task of the new ambassador to Libya 3 years after the U.S. consulate incident in Benghazi and the killing of former American ambassador to Libya, Chris Steven. Wood was authorized by 95 votes of Congress members, and this means that Wood has been officially assigned the task of the U.S. ambassador to Libya as a successor for his controversial predecessor in Libya, Deborah Jones. Air Force of the Armed Forces launched airstrikes on the terrorist positions in the district of Camp 319 in Batni and Al-Hijaz Street in Benghazi. Air Force jets also launched extensive raids on strongholds of terrorist Daesh group in the two mentioned districts near Randa Confessional in Al-Lithi district. The source noted that the armed forces and the units supporting them launched violent and fierce battles on some pockets of terrorist groups in Batni and Al-Hijazi Street district. Libyan interim minister in charge Mohammed Al-Madani Al-Fakhiri discussed with his Jordanian counterpart Salama Hamad the current situation in the country. The two sides held a closed-door meeting in the VIP lounge to discuss a number of joint issues such as security and cooperation between the two countries, as well as following up the current situation of the Libyan trainees in Jordan, the obstacles facing them, and the training of new batches of police graduates. Moreover, the two sides also discussed means of overcoming the difficulties facing the Libyan community in the Kingdom of Jordan. And still in Libya, a meeting was held in office of Benghazi Municipal Council, and including both the mayor of Benghazi Municipality, the president of Al-Quaifiyya Elders Council, Al-Quaifiyya Local Council, as well as number of other local councils to give an accommodation to the displaced of Tawarga in the Sidi Khalifa training camp. The official spokesman for Benghazi Municipality noted that this meeting aims at solving the problems of the displaced of Tawarga city present in Benghazi Syria's schools and beginning the new academic year. And now we transfer to elections in Egypt. The second phase of Egypt parliamentary election, which includes Cairo and 12 other governorates, will be held on November 22 and 23. The first phase of elections took place on October 18 and 19, with a notably low turnout. Estimates by judges overseeing the ballot suggested the turnout was around 20% or more by the second day in the 14 regions covered by the first round, including the second city of Alexandria. Turkish warplanes struck Kurdistan Workers' Party PKK militant targets in northern Iraq and southeastern Turkey, the latest raids in a military campaign against the rebel group. The Turkish army said it hit 23 PKK targets, including shelters and supply points in Zab, Avizin Basin, Hakruk and Kandil areas in northern Iraq with 22 fighter jets. The army said that the airstrikes were carried out between the hours of 11 p.m. and 2 a.m. It also said it hit PKK locations in Syriac province in Turkey's southeast, including shelters and gun points. The PKK's 31-year-old conflict with the state erupted in July, with Turkey launching airstrikes on militant camps in response to attack on its security forces, ending a March 2013 ceasefire. Hundreds have been killed in the latest fighting. A week after Paris was attacked by terrorist Daesh militants, German Vice Chancellor Sigmar Gabriel paid a visit to the Place de la République with France Finance Minister Emmanuel Macron today to light the candles for the victims of the worst atrocity in France since World War II. The two ministers also had a minute's silence, standing in front of the sign reading "Not even afraid," a sentiment which resonated among the crowds gathered in the square. Gabriel's offered words of consolation to France, saying there was no way to foresee the events of last Friday. Gabriel and Macron pledged cooperation on European security in the wake of the attacks, which left 130 dead and some 350 wounded. This followed indications that some of the Paris attackers who were on counter-terrorism watch lists reached Europe among crowds of refugees or on fake passports. Emmanuel Macron said that the time had come for Europe to unite in its fight against the threat of terrorists. Chinese Premier Li Keqiang today attending the 18th China ASEAN 10+1 leaders meeting in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, putting forward a 6-point proposal for lasting peace and prosperity in the Asian Pacific region. Li hosted the meeting jointly with Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak. Li noted while addressing the meeting that relations between China and ASEAN have become an important cornerstone for peace, stability and development in the Asia-Pacific region. Meanwhile, the U.S. President Barack Obama told the meeting of Southeast Asian leaders today that terrorist claimants to waters in the South China Sea should avoid materializing the issues and halt any rebuilding of artificial islands. China insisted it had undisputed sovereignty over most of the South China Sea, a claim that overlaps with 4 Asian countries. Obama said he commended Asian for working to create a code for conduct for the South China Sea. And now to Mali, the deadly attack on a hotel in Mali's capital, claimed by 2 terrorist groups, has put veteran militant leader Mukhtar Bil Mukhtar back in the spotlight months after he was reported killed. Bil Mukhtar, who is Algerian, has been a key figure for years in insurgencies across North Africa and the Saharan Portal region, but in June authorities said he had been killed by a U.S. airstrike there. U.S. military officials said he was targeted only for Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb, a QIM to deny 4 days later, and he was dead. In a statement posted on Twitter, the group said he was still alive and well. His group, Al-Mughrabitun, now claims to have stormed the Radisson Blu Hotel in Bamako in a joint operations with Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb, AQIM, in which 21 people, 2 of them insurgents, have been reported killed. French Defense Minister Jean-Yves Le Drian told TV1 television Belmokhtar was probably behind the attack. The U.S. government also believes the 2 groups staged the attack, a government source said today. My audience, that is the wrap-up of our top stories for today. For much more, you can check our website www.watanelkarama.tv. Thank you very much for being with us. My greeting, Rانيا البليدى.